Researchers unlocked the keys to designing an interstellar sail. Traveling from one planet to another isn't that difficult of a task because it's something we've been working on for years now. We might have gone to the moon, but interplanetary travel is something which will be achieved before this decade ends, even though at one time it was deemed impossible. If we take things to a higher level, then what we have here is traveling between solar systems, and that's something that's potentially mind-blowing if you think about it. The reason why it's so baffling is because we do not have the technology or machinery needed to carry out interstellar travel, but the good thing is, we now have the information. That's right. In recent research, that was made. Researchers locked the keys to designing an interstellar spacecraft, which could help us move into another solar system. Since we are already in the process of research for this entire plan, we can't wait for what's next in store. Therefore, to give you an idea of what has been planned up till now, we're going to detail to you on the research that has been made. The first thing you need to know is that this isn't the first time such machinery has been invented. NASA's Voyager 1 and 2 probes were launched in 1970, and after all this time, there remain the only two man-made objects that have left our solar system, while the pair has managed to defy all our expectations, and they're still operational. Researchers still continue to work on methods which could help us explore our neighboring systems. And one of these methods which has come to attention is that a light sail which is pushed by the force of light instead of the wind. As we move step by step towards this ambitious goal, we shall first brief you on the Breakthrough Starshot initiative as to what it is and what is the ultimate goal that is expected from this program. Breakthrough Starshot Initiative. The Starshot Initiative is a research and engineering program which is designed to deliver the most efficient and successful light sail yet, which is capable of traveling to Alpha Centauri, which is the closest solar system to us. Known completely as the Breakthrough Starshot Initiative, there is going to be development on a light sail that is going to carry within itself a microchip which is going to be the size of a probe at 20% of the speed of light. With this arrangement in place and this pace being adopted, it would see the probe manage to reach Alpha Centauri in about 20 years, which is nothing short of amazing. Alpha Centauri is 4 light-years away from the Earth, and several experts have estimated that it would take around 6,300 years to reach the solar system. With the technology that we have on our hands, we certainly don't have this kind of time on our hands. So the probe method mentioned in this previous paragraph is definitely going to be the method which will materialize. Although there hasn't been a final word on this method yet, the Breakthrough Starshot Initiative aims to show proof of concept for ultra-fast, light-driven nanocrafts which are going to launch the spacecraft to Alpha Centauri in the coming generation. Next, we are going to move on to what lights are, because many of us are hearing this term for the first time ever. The next section tells us what light sails basically are. What are light sails? Also known as solar sails, these are sails which manage to propel spacecraft without using rocket fuel. Light sails move when light particles, which are known as photons in scientific terms, manage to hit the reflective sail when they transfer their momentum to the sheet. Over the course of time, billions of photons will continue to hit the sail, which will create enough momentum for the sail to be pushed further on in its route. In 2019, the Planetary Society, which was a space education and outreach non-profit based in the United States, managed to launch a light sail-powered spacecraft, which are called the Light Sail 2, and it was made to be released into the Earth's orbit. The spacecraft is almost the size of a loaf of bread, but when it is fully stretched, this sail expands over 433 square feet. The light sail is made up of 4 triangles, which are made up of aluminized mylar and are joined together. Whereas the craft got to space aboard a SpaceX Falcon Heavy rocket. In orbit, it has been maneuvering using the push that has been provided to using sunlight. The Space Agency of Japan, which is known as JAXA or JAXA, has also launched a spacecraft which travels using the help of solar sail named Icarus. In fact, Icarus was the world's first successful solar sail. The Light Sail 2 only relies on the photons of the sun to carry out its movement, whereas the current research which is taking place is being carried out under the name of the Starshot program. Shaping the perfect solar sail. Speaking of the structure of the solar sail, researchers have come to a conclusion. The structure of the solar sail is going to count for a lot because the structure of the sail is what is going to assist it in being propelled forward. If it is too large, then the movement is going to be slow. If the sail is too small, then it might drift off into parts unknown. If there is even a tiny miscalculation, so two things are for sure. There's very little room for error in the making of solar sail because these blunders will not go unpunished by nature. Coming back to the shape. The first paper was published by Igor Bargatin, who is a researcher in the Department of Mechanical Engineering and Applied Mathematics at the University of Pennsylvania. In it, he said that the light sail of the Starshot needs to be made out of ultra-thin sheets of aluminum oxide and molybdenum disulfide chemicals. The same research team has also stressed that to avoid tearing the light sail, we'll need to have a significant curve as well. It needs to have a below-like parachute rather than being completely flat. This is going to be a major factor in making sure that the sail doesn't malfunction in any way. It's going to be interesting to see how the research team manages to make sheets out of the two mentioned materials while also managing to maintain the shape of the solar sail. Pattern of the sail. As for the second paper, it went on to explain how the pattern on the sail could be a game changer for this sail, because it will end up distributing the heat from the light which is going to strike on the sail coming from the lasers on the Earth. If the sail absorbs even the tiniest fraction of the incident laser light, they'll heat up to very high temperatures. Lead author Aswath Raman, a researcher in the Department of Materials Science and Engineering at the University of California, Los Angeles, said in the same statement, "To make sure they don't just integrate, we need to maximize their ability to radiate their heat away, which is the only mode of heat transfer available in space." Before this, researchers went on to suggest that the light sail could also be covered in tiny holes spaced together, which would help overcome this problem of overheating. These researchers also suggest that the sail could have holes in addition to the sail fabric being put together in a grid pattern. This would be to maximize the heat distribution and make sure that the sail remains at a stable temperature. The reason a stable temperature is needed is because this will prevent the sail from being destroyed. The final build of the sail would be robust, but even after that, it still has the tendency to be destroyed if the lasers are directly focused on it. A few years ago, even thinking of doing theoretical work on this type of concept was considered far-fetched. Co-author Deep Jarliwala, a researcher who works with Bargatin at the University of Pennsylvania, said in the same statement, "Now we not only have a design, but the design is grounded in real materials available in our labs. Our plan for the future would be to make such structures at small scale and test them with high-power lasers." The Starshot initiative is going to be a game changer for us regarding space travel, and we can't wait until this kind of spacecraft finally comes into being. That is all we have for today. If you like this video, then give it a thumbs up. And if you visited our channel for the first time, then make sure to subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any upcoming videos from us.